Welcome, children of the night, back to another episode of the Infernal Archive. On this episode, we are going to go check out the film Bring Her Back. Andrew, could you give us the little Wikipedia blurb or whatever?
Absolutely. So it's a 2025 Australian horror film directed by Danny and Michael Filipov. They also...
Philippou, I think.
Philippou?
Philippou, yes.
Philippou?
My U's look like a V.
They also did Talk to Me.
Yes.
So that was an interesting one as well.
Yeah, kind of a standout. Did a lot of things well. Maybe wasn't fully great beginning to end.
Very promising.
But did a lot of good shit.
Thinking like, I want to see more from these guys after...
I always think about the first jump scare in that movie, and just phenomenal. Like, such a good jump. So
good.
Movie very worthwhile watching anyways, I'll say that about the first one.
Logline, a brother and sister uncover a terrifying ritual at the secluded home of their foster mother. So, right away, foster mother, terrifying.
Foster mother,
excited to see
foster
this one.
system. Scary.
Even more scary.
Very, very scary. If you're in the foster system, you're scary. Like, if you're a child within the foster system, you are scary. You're a scary person. You're a scary human being. And that's just a fact. Like, that's just how it works. So, we're gonna go check out. We're gonna go check out Bring Her Back, and then
the opinions of this guy does not represent the opinions of this company or myself.
You had this awful tragedy happen to you, like whatever, your parents died in a car accident or something, and then it's like you're in this system that's like a lot of times just no good, and then somebody comes up to you and be like, "You're fucking scary. You're scaring me," and it's like, my fucking parents died, and my fucking foster mom is a fucking bitch. Fuck you. Like, get away from me. Anyway, sorry. We are gonna go watch Bring Her Back, and then we will give you our thoughts when we return.
Whatever you do, don't fall asleep.
And welcome back, children of the night. We just saw Bring Her Back. Man, what a treat. Andrew, briefly, what was your overall opinion, I guess?
I loved it.
Yeah.
Definitely, I would say not in that traditional what you think of horror in terms of jump scare and really action packed in that sense.
A few of them.
But overall that wasn't what they were going for.
No, yeah.
Very much going for more of a cerebral. I walked out, I turned to you and I said, that was upsetting. I loved it.
Yeah.
That's how I would describe it.
100%. I think something I said to you was whereas Ari Aster did 2 banger movies in a row, and then he did movies, I haven't seen them to be fair, but movies that I just had no interest in seeing. This felt like sort of what I wish Ari Aster would have kept doing. Like, it had that kind of vibe. Not quite as oppressively depressing as an Ari Aster movie, but it's but very much similar themes, similar stuff going on. Mm-hmm. I guess yes, I also loved it. I think the first thing that comes to mind to me is I love it. It's a very original idea. It's it uses elements from other things. There's some Rosemary's Baby kind of thrown there, haunting movie, abusive parent trope stuff. There's all these tropes.
Even some Babadook influence totally. With the weird creaturey thing that is developing, and the mother relationship, and that whole being all weird and crazy and fucked up, and
even
also Australian.
Australian film. Don't Breathe. There's an element of the film, not a ton, but there's a specific element of the film that is there's even some Don't Breathe type stuff going on here about sound and whatever going on around if you're, because one of the characters is visually impaired, and how a character is able to behave with that character versus everybody else or whatever. Anyway, so I guess that being said, it's just the originality of combining all these disparate elements into this just hyper engaging piece. The film has this beautiful build from beginning to end, where it starts and it's decently slow. It takes a little while to get going. You have your inciting incident, weird stuff happens, but then it's the film just it's like a person on a bike pedaling. It's it's just boom, boom, a little faster, a little faster, a little faster, a little faster.
And all of a sudden now they're going downhill by the end.
And just super satisfying build and payoff and everything. And the originality of the whole thing to me was just phenomenal. You were talking a little bit about some of the more specific technical aspects. Of what's some stuff that stood out to you?
So big time, the cinematography stood out to me. Primarily in that not that it was like the most beautiful cinematography wise that I've seen. It was very well done, but more so that it felt like all these pieces were all in service of this idea and this theme that they're going with. And right off the hop, there's a line where the visually impaired character is being interviewed, and she's like, "You're partially sighted, aren't you, Piper?" And she's like, "Oh, I only see lights. I see light and shapes."
Yeah.
And that specific point is carried through the film with the cinematography. There's tons of these beautiful little shots where it's like everything's out of focus. You see shapes,
Shallow depth of
and then
field,
shallow
big
depth of
time.
field, and it comes into focus. And that was used very effectively to add to the mood, the theme, even the story in some cases. And similarly, the sound design. It was it was uncomfortable, but not over the top. That the sounds that weren't dialogue. So, for example, there's stuff with teeth and chewing and breaking
windshield
and
wipers.
windshield wipers and all that stuff. It was just a little bit louder than you would maybe like.
Yeah.
So it was like it make you feel uneasy and uncomfortable.
Yeah.
But it added to the whole theme and the story itself and the tension they're building. Both cinematography and sound design really went hand in hand with
Totally.
that.
I like the way the cinematography specifically, like the word that came to my head was like it's unobtrusive in the best way possible. It's
100%.
Like every single, it feels like that is the shot that was supposed to be there. You're never confused about most of the film takes place in in a singular house. You're never confused about where you are, what's going on, any of that. Like it's just you're along for the ride in a completely non-distracting way.
Totally.
You're just fixated and like, yeah, I agree. Like it's the best type of cinematography where it's like it doesn't insist upon itself. It's not way too much, and it's like, okay, now I'm thinking about the fact that you're doing this crazy cinematography, but it doesn't. Also, it's not the other way where it's like, you maybe didn't, you were not brave in the way you shot this. Like,
Didn't feel lazy at all.
Not at all. Like it just right on the money. And then I totally agree with the sound design stuff. It was just super effective. Like even down at there's some, it's a scary movie. There's maybe some ghosts, maybe some
Ghoulies
monstrous type things in this film. And the sounds that these things make, chilling. Just like so good. It's like it's sort of I brought it up a little bit during our review of The Wolfman, but it's the type of thing where I'm not gonna say there's any like iconic sound in this film, but it's genuine. Like I don't like listening to this thing. It's like The Grudge does like the sound or whatever. It's in that vein where it's like I don't want to listen to this. Please shut the fuck up. Get away from me.
And there's whatever I said. There's some stuff with teeth and chewing.
Yep.
And when that happens, and you hear the teeth cracking and chewing, and it feels like it's just it makes your fucking skin crawl. Like it's so effective.
So good, yeah. The only other thing I can think of, well, the film is just quite good across the board, but one thing I'd like to highlight is the dynamic between the two main characters. The two main characters, like we read like Andrew read in the blurb earlier, is they're brother and sister, but it's a mixed family. So it was a father who got remarried, and it was like a little girl that sort of like got brought into it was an 8-year-old boy's family. So like a big part of the film is him dealing with memories from back when that family mixture happened, and his father not being super kind to him and stuff, and that's some of the plot line. But anyway, so later on the girl is like, what would you say, like 13, 14, something like that,
yeah.
And then I think he's just about to turn 18. And anyway, so due to terrible circumstances, they are now in the foster care system, and they're gonna go live with his mother. But them as a team, not directly, but in a quality type of way, they felt as engaging to me as a duo as Joel and Ellie from The Last of Us do. Like it's that type of like, these are two characters that you just want to see interact and be together, and you want them to do well.
And you're rooting for them right off the hop.
Yeah, and it's not necessarily because they're like the best people in the world or like whatever. It's just like they feel real, and they feel like,
interesting, engaging.
Captivating.
I want to see more of their dynamic.
Yeah, and they're funny together. Like the way that they harp on each other is very much like real siblings, and like
totally.
It was very convincing, and their performances were really phenomenal. The little girl, I'm assuming that the little girl was like actually visually impaired in real life. It'd be tough to do some of the things she does with her eyes without being visually impaired. Really well done. Like child actor that just nailed it.
And are the antagonist, but also technically antagonist, but also like kind of just has her own upsetting
Tragic
thing. Just
figure, yeah.
utterly tragic. I can't remember her name. She's in Shape of Water.
Yeah. Yeah, she's the lead.
Her name's gonna pop up somewhere, I'm sure. Her performance was just
and she's
incredible.
She's in Godzilla. I kept trying to think of the 2014
yes.
Gareth Edwards Godzilla, and in she's in those movies too. She's Dr. Sarzal was like assistant or whatever.
Yeah.
So she's in those movies as well. She's great actress.
And she just this is like, give her a freaking Oscar, as one of our dear friends would say in this circumstance.
Yeah,
just incredible. I think her performance deserves like gold star something. Right away, she's meant to be this kind of like kooky, unhinged, whatever. And from the second we meet her, I'm like, that bitch ain't right.
6 a.m. and already the boy ain't right.
Like something ain't right.
Get a like red flag big time.
But it's subtle.
Yeah, it's subtle enough that you can
yeah.
be like, she's just weird.
Yeah.
Andrew, would you like to reveal the Rotten Tomatoes scores before we give
Yes.
our own rating for this movie?
So the critics gave it a 90%, and the audience score is 80. And I tend personally to lead more toward the critics getting it right on this one.
100%. That
Usually it's the opposite, but I think the audience did this one dirty a little bit. I think 80's far too low for this film.
and
What's our score, Fran?
we did really feel that way because out of our rating scale to 13, we have given Bring Her Back a 12.5, about as fucking high as you can get. It does not dethrone what we consider the best horror film we've seen on the show to date, Daddy said, but it gets fucking close. And it's about as good. It's such a great start to this summer of horror. There's a bunch of other horror movies coming out this summer that I'm really excited for. But this is such a good way to start it off. I feel like it's in stark contrast to maybe the last 1 or 2 years of like the summer maybe not starting off as strongly or whatever. Trying to think now.
I want to see more like this. This especially, it's like we have Talk to Me, pretty great, and then this is the follow up to Talk to Me. I
where
can't.
is these filmmakers?
Yeah, where are they going to go?
Yeah.
And budget of like 15 million.
Yeah.
Which I mean, not small, but like definitely not a huge budget to work with.
Modest, like the type of budget. I want to see more movies made for those types of budgets.
Exactly.
Like you get this really creative stuff. Like especially after we saw Clown of Cornfield, this is such a nice this did
palate cleanser.
Everything that I really didn't like about Clown of Cornfield. This film did all that stuff in spades. It was hyper creative. It was just it was phenomenal. Anyways, we anything else you want to say?
Just excellent film. Go see it. Support these filmmakers. See it in theaters.
Oh, we have made a Google Doc. I want to mention that. We're going to put it in the description for this video. But we went back. So we started rating these movies. So we went back and we retroactively rated all the films we've seen up until this point and put it on that scale. So if you want to check out what we thought about all the other movies and where they fall on the list or whatever,
And if
how
you
they
wanna
rank,
tell us how fucking wrong we are for rating something the way it is. Do so.
comment. Yes, I want to mention something I want to mention too is if there's a movie you think we should reevaluate, throw it in the comments, and we're thinking about doing a little spin-off show where we reevaluate some of these movies. Anyways, thank you so much for watching, and we will catch you on the next episode of the Infernal Archive.